true-false variable is pretty handy if you want to present certain information. If you want to provide the learner with a visual cue that they finished a section, this course is basically non-linear. And so the learner will return to the menu slide once they've completed the various sections. I want to give the learner a visual cue that they've finished the first section. And I can do that by inserting a true-false variable. So the first thing we want to do is create a variable. We'll select Manage Project Variables and we'll select Create New Variable. We'll give it a meaningful name, First Section Complete. Type of variable is true-false variable. We'll set the initial value to false. And with true-false variables, they have two states, true, false, much like on or off. Select OK, and we have our first section complete variable. It's a true-false variable with the default value of false. Select OK, and let's move on. The next thing we need to do is add a new state to this first section link icon. So we'll go down to Edit States, select New State, and then give it a meaningful name like Complete. We'll select Add, and I'll continue to format it. I'm going to right-click, Format Picture, and then basically just going to grade out a little. I'm going to set the transparency to around 60%, or let's go a little lower than that, say 50% looks good. And so this is how the first section link icon will appear when the learner has viewed the first section material. And so we're done editing states. The next thing we need to do is add a trigger to adjust the state on the first section icon to that new state that we just created, if the variable is true. So let's do this. We'll create a new trigger to change the state. On which object? The first section link, to the state of complete. That's the one we just started. And here is where it gets a little slightly complex. It's actually not when the user clicks, but it's when the timeline starts on this particular slide. So we want to change the state to complete when certain things happen. So let's select Show Conditions. Only if our first section complete variable is equal to a value of true. Remember, its default value was false, so we'll select OK. You may wonder what's going to adjust that first section complete variable. It's very simple. It's a trigger on the last slide of the first section or scene. We'll go up to Story View, we'll scroll right down, we'll double click on that last slide, and I'm just going to create a trigger that's going to adjust the variable. Which variable? First section complete, to a value of true. When? When the timeline starts on the slide. So once they get to this slide, the variable is going to adjust. I'll select OK. So let's preview this project by pressing F12. So here's the main menu. I'm going to go directly to the last slide, select on it, and because we've started the slide, the variable adjusts. We'll go back to the main menu to check, and the first section is now grayed out. So that's how you insert a true-false variable in Storyline. Now let's move on to the next video.